Watch this closely. The first hunters summoned weapons 400 years ago, before the honeymoon even existed. Then Guima destroys the honeymoon at the end, shatters it completely. But the girls still summon their weapons. How is that possible if weapons come from the honeymoon? Unless the honeymoon was never the source. This changes everything. Today, we're finally answering the question that's been dividing the fandom. How do the Huntrix actually summon their weapons? Some say the weapons come from the honeymoon. Others say they come from the hunters themselves. Drop a comment right now with which side you're on, because by the end of this video, one of you is going to be proven right. Let's break it down. Here's what breaks the official explanation. Opening scene. The original hunters 400 years ago are fighting demons with weapons. But there's no honeymoon yet. They're literally in the process of creating it for the first time. So where did their weapons come from? Final battle. Guima destroys the honeymoon. It shatters. The barrier that supposedly holds the weapons, gone. But watch, Rumi still summons her sword. Mira still calls her Gokdo. Zoe still throws her knives. They create a new honeymoon using those weapons. If weapons come from the honeymoon, this is impossible. But there's more proof. Watch the stage performance scene. Rumi starts singing. Mira and Zoe's souls begin to glow. The weapons don't come from the honeymoon. They come from the hunter's own souls. But if that's true, why do they all follow the same rules? Why does Rumi's sword have 4 tigers carved into it when there are only 3 hunters? Unless there's an ancient presence shaping them all. Think about Bleach for a second. Every Zanpakuto has a spirit living inside it. That spirit has a name, a personality, a will. The sword is powerful because 2 souls work together, the wielder and the spirit. K-pop Demon Hunters works the same way, but with one difference. Every hunter's weapon contains echoes of the same ancestral spirit. 400 years ago, 4 people were born with a gift. Voices that could drive back darkness. Not literal singing voices, but spiritual power that manifested through sound and will. 3 of them became Mudang shamans, channeling their power through ritual and sacred movement. 1 became a musician, channeling that same power through instruments and song. That musician was Chinu's father. He wasn't choosing a different path. He was born with the same destiny, the same spiritual voice as the shamans. He just expressed it differently. Where they danced, he played. Where they chanted, he sang. That's why current hunters use K-pop. Dance and music combined, they're channeling the same spiritual voice their ancestors had, just in a modern form. To trap the Demon King permanently, someone had to become the seal's foundation. Not just die, but transform. Jinu's father's soul didn't disappear. It became something else, a spiritual technique, a blueprint, an ancestral law. Think of it like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Dragons didn't give firebenders their flames. Dragons taught them how to channel their own fire through an ancient technique. Same here. Jinu's father didn't create the weapons, he created the technique. When hunters summon weapons, they're channeling their own soul energy through a 400-year-old guardian's method. The power is theirs, the soul energy is theirs, but the form, the shape, the rules, the manifestation, that comes from the ancestral spirit's technique. That's why soul colors match weapon colors. It's their energy. That's why weapons exist before and after the honeymoon. The technique is independent. That's why all weapons follow spiritual laws, same ancestral technique. And that's why Rumi's sword says 4 tigers, honoring all 4 original guardians, including Jinu's father. One ancient technique, many modern souls, different manifestations. But if they're all using the same ancestral technique, why do the weapons look so different? Because the ancestral spirit responds to what each soul needs. Zoe, 6 knives. Zoe carries 6 shinkals, 6 separate blades. She's Korean American, torn between 2 cultures, a hunter hiding in plain sight. Bubbly on the outside, anxious on the inside. Too much and not enough. That's what the darkness whispered to her. Her soul is fragmented across multiple identities, multiple roles, multiple versions of herself. The ancestral spirit hears that fragmentation and manifests as 6 separate knives. Not to break her further, but to say, I see every part of you. Every piece has purpose. Hold them all. Each knife represents a different facet of who she is.
and she has to master wielding them all at once. Mira, the distance blade. Mira's Gakdo is a curved moon blade on a long handle. She primarily uses it at distance, prefers to keep enemies at a safe range. Just like her personality, blunt, direct, honest, but emotionally guarded. Her family wanted her to be someone else, refined, high society, balletic. She chose her own wild, graceful dance, but it meant keeping distance, protecting herself by never letting them close enough to hurt her. The ancestral spirit heard that need for space and gave her a weapon that lets her strike without vulnerability. You can be powerful without being exposed. Grace without intimacy. Strength without weakness. Rumi, the transforming sword. Rumi's sword is different from the others. It can transform. The ancestral spirit gave her an adaptive weapon because her soul is designed to carry things. Leader burden, inherited shame, everyone's secrets. Her weapon doesn't just fight, it holds. And when it absorbs another's soul, it transforms completely. We'll see exactly what that means later. Same ancestral technique flowing through different souls, but it adapts, it listens, it responds to what each person needs to survive. That's not just a summoning method, that's a father knowing his children, even ones born 400 years after he died.
So if the Han Moon doesn't create the weapons, what does it do? It amplifies the connection. Think of the ancestral spirit's technique like a radio signal. It's always broadcasting, always there, but sometimes it's hard to hear clearly. The Han Moon acts as an amplifier, a resonance chamber. It makes the ancestral spirit's technique easier to access, clearer to channel. That's why on the plane, Zoe grabs those glowing blue threads. She's not pulling her knives from the Han Moon. She's using the Han Moon to tune in to the ancestral technique faster. Like how firebenders are stronger during Sozin's comet. The comet doesn't create fire, it amplifies what's already there. The original hunters didn't have the Han Moon yet, so they had to channel the ancestral technique directly as the father's soul transformed. Perfect clarity, no amplifier needed. Current hunters use the Han Moon to make that connection easier, faster summoning, stronger manifestation. When Guimad destroys the Han Moon, the girls can still summon. It just takes more effort, more focus, like trying to hear a song without speakers. The ancestral technique is still there, just harder to access. Which brings us to the fans. Keep your hands off our Han Moon. Zoe screams this when demons attack their fans. Not the barrier, the fans themselves, because she's right. The Han Moon is the fans. Here's how the full system works. The ancestral spirit equals the technique, how to manifest soul energy as weapons. The hunter's souls equal the power source, their own energy shaped by the technique. The fan's souls equal the amplification network, the Han Moon, that makes it easier. When fans resonate with the hunter's music, their emotional energy creates the Han Moon barrier. That barrier does two things. It keeps demons sealed away, and it amplifies the ancestral technique, making weapon summoning smoother and stronger. It's a complete ecosystem. One guardian's technique, many souls carrying it forward, an audience of believers making both the barrier and the weapons more powerful. Every concert is a resurrection ritual. Every performance calls to an ancestral spirit who taught the first weapon technique. Every fan singing along is strengthening the connection between past and present, reinforcing the barrier that protects the world. Happy fans, happy Han Moon isn't just cute, it's literally how the system stays strong enough to channel a 400-year-old technique and maintain the demon seal. Now we reach the moment everything changes. Jinnu sacrifices himself. You gave me my soul back, and now I give it to you. His soul enters Rumi's sword. Watch what happens. The blade doesn't just get bigger, it transforms completely. New engraving appears, a heichi, the guardian lion that protects sacred spaces from fire. But here's what nobody realizes. Jinnu is the son of the ancestral spirit whose technique lives in every weapon.
For 400 years, that father's technique has been echoing through strangers, protecting people he never met, taking forms he never imagined. But when his actual son's soul enters the weapon, it's not just a power-up, it's a reunion. Father's technique, son's soul, together for the first time since the original sealing. Rumi's soul becomes the bridge connecting them. Her weapon was designed to carry and absorb. When Jinu's soul merges with hers, it channels two souls through the same ancestral technique. Father's technique plus son's soul plus Rumi's vessel nature equals transformation. That Heichi engraving that appears, that's not Rumi's symbol, that's the father's true signature, finally able to manifest now that his son has come home. The sword could cut Gima in half, not because it had more power, but because it was finally complete. The ancestral technique recognized its own bloodline, remembered its original purpose. That's why the rainbow barrier formed, 7 colors. 3 active hunters plus 4 original guardians equals 7. Perfect harmony, complete spiritual balance. But it's not the golden Hanmoon yet, because the technique is still scattered across 3 separate people. To create the permanent seal, all the pieces need to unite. And there's one more thing. Jinu had one possession his starving family never sold, an old bipa, his father's instrument. It wasn't just valuable, it was sacred. Because while the father's soul shattered into weapon technique, his musical essence stayed whole in that bipa. Jinu inherited his father's gift, born with that same spiritual voice that could drive back darkness. That's why he could channel demon magic through the bipa. That's why his music had power. The destiny passed through blood. For 400 years, Jinu used his father's intact soul to play demon magic. Every note was betrayal he didn't understand. Every song was twisted love. Until the end, when the bipa remembered its purpose, and father's music combined with son's sacrifice to save the world they both loved. That's not just magic, that's legacy. That's blood remembering blood across centuries of separation.
So why isn't it golden yet? Because the ancestral technique is still incomplete. Korean cosmology requires 4 guardians for cosmic balance: Azure Dragon East, White Tiger West, Black Tortoise North, Vermilion Bird South. Right now, we have Zoe as Azure Dragon, Rumi as White Tiger, Mira as Black Tortoise, and Jinu's spirit as Vermilion Bird. But Jinu's trapped in a sword, not active. 3 living hunters channeling the technique, 1 spirit embedded in a weapon. That creates the rainbow. Beautiful, powerful, but transitional. For the golden Hanmoon, they need 4 active guardians, 4 souls channeling the ancestral technique simultaneously, 4 living vessels for that father's protective will. In the sequel, when they figure out how to properly resurrect Jinu as the 4th guardian, when all 4 channel the ancestral technique together, that's when the golden perfection manifests. That's when the demon seal becomes permanent. So here's how weapon summoning actually works. 400 years ago, a musician born with a spiritual voice sacrificed his soul to become a technique. Not the weapons themselves, not the power, but the method for transforming soul energy into protective force. Every hunter since has been channeling their own souls through his ancient technique. The weapons are theirs, powered by their energy, colored by their essence. But the form is his, shaped by a father's protective will that refuses to die. The Hanmoon amplifies the connection and strengthens the demon seal. Fans power the network, but the core is always the same: modern souls singing an ancient song. Zoe's 6 knives aren't just weapons, they're the ancestral spirit saying, your fragmentation has purpose. Mira's distance blade isn't weakness, it's the spirit saying, your boundaries are strength. Rumi's transforming sword isn't burden, it's the spirit saying, I'll change with you, you're not alone. Same father, same love, same technique, different children, different needs, different weapons. Next time you watch K-pop Demon Hunters, look closer at the summoning scenes. When Rumi's sword appears instantly, that's ancestral recognition. The technique knows its creator's bloodline. When Mira struggles slightly, That's someone learning to trust protection after years of guarding herself. When Zoe's knives scatter and return, that's fragmented identity learning it can be whole while remaining many. The weapons aren't pulled from nowhere, they're inherited. Ancient technique flowing through modern trauma, a father's love that shape-shifts across centuries to fit exactly what each spiritual child needs. And when Janu's soul entered that sword, when father and son finally harmonized after 400 years of separation, that wasn't just saving the world. That was coming home. Drop your theories below. Were you Team Han Moon or Team Hunter Souls? What detail convinced you? Hit subscribe because we're exploring what happens when all 4 guardians activate together. The weapons have so much more to teach us. See you in the demon realm.